How is Natsui?
He feels pretty good. I just thought with a quick turnaround, it made sense just to give him today. If we had a night game, I would have probably played him. I expect him to be in there tomorrow. He can pinch hit today.
Did he have that draining procedure that he talked about, having the fluid drain?
Yes.
Last night? Yesterday?
He had it yesterday, yeah. Not something I would ever watch.
But
I'd
you're
go.
convinced there's no other
Yeah,
complication?
no, I'm convinced he's fine. So I would have pinch hit him last night if I needed him.
What kind of tests are they going to do? Are they going to do anything?
It's just treatment and go get him.
Do you think he was relieved? Because he seemed a little bit, not nervous yesterday, but just kind of wanted to make sure that it wasn't anything what he had gone through with the other knee last year.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure when a player, gets you're going to be fine. We always feel a lot better about that.
You have any plan for him next week in National League Pop?
Not yet. I mean, obviously, you wait to see how everybody feels, but I thought what we did in Houston worked out pretty well. You kind of got some guys a day here, a day there, and then you have a good pinch hitter on your bench. So, but we'll evaluate that and see how his knee feels.
You can't tell if he'll be able to play the field.
I don't expect it to be a problem.
Tiger can win the Open on a broken leg.
And a torn ACL. It's pretty amazing. The fact that he could actually keep his swing intact with that, it's unbelievable.
Joe, can you just talk a little bit about Rivera and Hoffman and how, what you've seen from being in both of them in terms of the different styles and all that?
Two great closers, both of them with a signature pitch. Trevor's always been his changeup. Mo's always been his cutter. Unbelievable longevity, and I think that's a testament to their work ethic. Consistency day in and day out. Great people to have on your club day in and day out, just from a personality standpoint in the clubhouse. Willing to take charge of a bullpen. It's pretty amazing to have, as I was told the other day, 1,000 saves in one building, and it's 1,001, and then you throw in Goose's yesterday as he attended the game. There were a lot of saves in the area, and probably two future Hall of Famers as well.
What was your game plan when you faced Hoffman?
Me? I wanted to hit his fastball. You don't ever want to get to a guy's signature pitch because there's a reason it's called that. So, I would try to get to him, try to get to his fastball before he threw his changeup. It's not a great matchup.
Joe, we were asking about Alex last night, obviously being locked in at the plate. Can you get locked in defensively too? And if so, is he at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, guys get on great rolls defensively as well. I mean, you'll see guys, certain players have airless games that you're just amazed. I mean, I think about Polanco had in the 120s or something. It's absolutely amazing. You see shortstops go 50 games without an error, of third baseman. It's really amazing. I mean, he's just all around playing great baseball, running the bases, stealing bases. He's doing everything that you would want from a player.
How do you see using Posada? How many games can he catch for you over the course of this next week or so?
We'll just see how he feels. We have a bunch of night games coming up, but then we have a split doubleheader, and but we actually have 3 night games in a row in Pittsburgh, so we'll see. He's going to DH today, so you keep his bat in the lineup. Just day by day, see how he feels.
You used Molina with Moose a couple of times. Would you do that again tomorrow?
I'll have to wait and see tomorrow, but there's a possibility, but I'll wait and see tomorrow.
When we talked to you a couple weeks ago, you said that Pittsburgh series would probably be one where you could use him 3 days, use Posada 3 days in a row. But does that doubleheader change things now?
Possibly, yeah, because somebody's going to have to catch a day game, and someone's going to have to catch, the night game. So, you talk about 4 days in a row, and we'll see how he feels.
Yeah. Day game the following.
Yes, yes. It's an interesting split doubleheader after a night game in Pittsburgh.
It was fun
Yes, but it doesn't seem like enough time in between. But make it work. Yeah.
There's something about the schedule that doesn't make sense? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
With Wong now injured, and do you think of the Java move as even more of the right thing to do? I mean, are you glad? I guess how glad are you that you made this move and the Java's ready now?
well, I thought it was the right move all along, but obviously, you have only so many starters, and if we would have had to make that move now, I mean, it would have been really tricky to do it now, because you can only take so many people up, and you start to run out of pitching in a sense. So, all along, I've thought it was the right move, and am I happier now that Wong's out for a while? I don't know if I would say that, because I'm not real happy that he's out. So, but obviously we have a quality starter going today, and that's important.
Will you have to watch him to make sure he doesn't sort of try to be the guy to replace your 19-game winner?
I don't think that he'll do that, just because I think his personality is to shut down the other team all the time. So I don't think it will change his approach.
Joe, now that he's made a few starts, do Java's starts seem less like an event than maybe they did at first?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you can tell when you walk into this room that it's not jam-packed, and there's not 20 more TV cameras. So I mean, obviously it's a pretty normal day again. I mean, it's just like any other starter going today, which is a nice feeling.
When you look at his batting average against with opponents first time through second and third, there's not a dramatic difference like some you'll see obviously jump up. Mm-hmm. Is that a particularly good sign, given that there was some question as to how he would translate seeing batters more than once throw?
Yeah, I think that's a great sign, and I think the other thing it tells you is that his stuff's not falling off, and that his stamina is there, and that he's strong, up to 100 pitches at this point, which is a great thing. Well, I mean, we wouldn't go much over 100. So, but I mean, to me, it's like any other starter, and you're going to watch to see how his innings are and how he's doing. If they're tough innings, if it's a tough 80 pitches or an easy 80, it all changes depending. But he's a pretty normal starter now.
We're through the pitch count.
Yes.
Are you getting resigned to the fact that your rotation is going to be kind of a work in progress? Maybe all season, but at least for the foreseeable future?
Well, I mean, I think, we got in our rotation everyone competing, and then you have the injury to Wong, and now you're talking about someone else has a chance to step up and take advantage. Moose is throwing the ball well, Pettit's throwing the ball well, Chamberlain's throwing the ball well, Rasner's throwing the ball well. But now, again, we have a question mark because we have an injury, and Dan Geis has an opportunity here, and he's thrown the ball well all year in AAA. He's thrown the ball well since he's been up here, and now he's going to get a chance to do it in the rotation. So, obviously, you'd like to say that you could have the same 5 guys the whole year, but that usually doesn't happen for any club.
I guess Rasner had one shaky inning last night, but are you satisfied that he doesn't have to be making some adjustments or anything like that?
No. He, like any other starting pitcher, they get in a little trouble when they miss location. So, the walk hurt him a little bit. The leadoff walk hurt him. But no, I think his stuff, he is fine. It comes down to him locating the baseball.
Joe, as this winning streak has gone on and the mood has, it seems, changed, and Mike Messina gets ice cream back, and some of you were on the field, little kids on the field today. I mean, is it a tangible difference to you that just the feeling is different and more positive right now?
I think the feeling was positive all along, but obviously everyone's more upbeat when you're winning, because we like winning. So, I mean, it is a different feel, and I mean, guys are producing, and I think they feel good about themselves every day, and that's important as well, because this game can be very humbling and very tough, and the good thing about this game is you have a chance to come back the next day if you had a tough day. But on the other hand, sometimes you don't get to rest on what you did very long, and that can be tough. So it's good that we've put a streak together, and guys have felt good about themselves for a while.
Has it come naturally to you to ease up a little bit, it would seem, with the daytime batting practices, a couple optional sessions, that sort of thing?
You know, I'm a believer in that. You know, because I think that you can be on the field sometimes a little bit too much, especially when you have a day game after a night game or you're in a long streak of 17 games. I've done this the whole year, the optional BP, most day games after night games, because, as everyone knows, we don't play the quickest games in the world. And when you have home BP, a lot of times you would start at, 10:30. And, I got home at 1 o'clock, so, I mean, it's a lot to turn guys around. So to me, if you get a chance to get them off their feet sometimes, they respond pretty well.
Do you think that is Rasner a little bit of a different pitcher this year than he was previously?
I didn't see much, Bill. So, he had a handful of starts last year. I didn't really know much about him until I saw him in spring training. I looked at his numbers. His numbers weren't bad last year. But it's a guy, to me, that gets it. He works very, very hard. He prepares every day very well to pitch. He takes every pitch, like it's his last pitch. He's just got a wonderful attitude, and that's what I love seeing.
Can it all of a sudden click at 27, 28?
I think so. I think you can get more comfortable in with who you are and your mechanics and what you're doing, and you develop your pitches more and you get more innings. Oh, I believe so. I actually played with a player, and it was different because it was a positional player, but it clicked when he was 29. He ended up playing about 7 or 8 years in the big leagues, Richie Amaral. So, sometimes guys are just a little bit later.
Joe, given what you just said and also the fact that last night he's essentially apologizing for not giving you more than 5, it's no accident, is it, that guys in the clubhouse really like Darryl Rasner?
Yeah, because of what he brings to the table every day, his attitude. This is a guy that you watch him, he's always trying to get better. And to me, that's what you love to see in people and players. Whether you're an athlete or not, that's what you love to see in people. And he's just great to be around.
Obviously, this guy has been kind of a borderline starting pitcher, and I don't think this team even protected him last winter.
Correct, yes.
So, but right now, you need this guy to be the pitcher he's so far been this year. That's why I was curious as to whether or not, do you wonder whether is this real, or is this guy what he's been for the first 9 or 10 years of his career, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't see it falling off. I don't. I have a lot of confidence every time he takes the mound, because the one thing that you always know, he's prepared, and then he's going to fight you and fight you and fight you. He's going to give you everything you got every day. So, I don't foresee a fall off. I think he'll continue to pitch well. Yeah, will he have a bad start from now and then? Of course, because he's human. All starters have those. But I like the way he goes about his business and the way he's pitching.